Greetings, viewers, and welcome to another edition of Talking Football with Drew and Stitch. In this edition, we're going to preview the Alabama-San Jose State game, so I'm going to let Drew sort of do most of the talking, obviously, and just sort of chime in with comments every now and then, and we want to hear from you on, just your thoughts on the upcoming game.
Well, guys, again, we always like to say thank you again for tuning in to this episode. We appreciate that. And going right on in, one of the biggest things I think for Alabama that they're going to have to do is figure out exactly who they are on defense, figure out exactly how big of a role each of these new guys is going to play.
Yeah, I mean, losing guys like Javier Arenas, who's been a 3-year starter at corner.
Rolando McClain
has been a 3-year starter basically at linebacker.
Terrence Cody, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of times you hear people, kind of bad-mouthing a school that chooses to schedule a lighter opponent in the beginning, but I think for us this year it was an absolute must. There's no way that we could have gone to an SEC, ACC preview, or a kickoff game, played a team like we have the past 2 years, like Virginia Tech and Clemson. There's no way we could have done that, I don't think, based on just kind of, I don't want to say inexperience because I don't think that's the right word, but I want to say kind of a lack of identity on defense.
Or they can't have chemistry, they never play together. So.
Right, and I think the big key is that what I really look forward to seeing is, of course, on the offensive side of the ball, you look for McElroy to come out and make a few big plays, spreading the ball out to Julio Jones, spreading the ball to Marquise Mays, Darius Hanks, and of course looking for Mark Ingram to get some really strong, powerful carries along with Trent Richardson. But what I really want to see is some of these guys on defense. I want to see how our secondary is going to do. That's to me the biggest question mark is our lack of depth in the secondary. And I think the best thing about the San Jose State game is that it's going to give us a chance to kind of blend together and figure out. It's one thing to play with each other on practice, going up against the other guys on the team. It's a whole different, to be played in front of, right at 100,000 fans screaming at the top of their lungs on a Saturday, in Bryant-Denny Stadium where the field temperature is probably going to be above 100 degrees, and you're just going 150% the whole time. I think it's really going to be a breaking in, which I think for us, again, is crucial before we come up against Penn State.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't agree more, Drew. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these guys that we haven't seen yet. Like I know there's Tyler Love, who was thought to be a bust. He may or may not play. There's another one, DJ Fluker, sort of in that same category. He's actually getting the start. He was redshirted last year, but
I think DJ Fluker is going to be a great contributor.
Yeah, he's
on the offensive side of the ball
for sure. 330 pounds, I believe. And also, Jarrell Harris, that's a guy, he almost came here, so I'm sort of curious to see what we missed out on.
I think, really looking to see him play more of an outside linebacker spot, really looking to, because let's start it in the trenches and look at what we lost there. We lost Cody, we got Chapman who's going to come in, play in the center, we got Darius coming off the end, and I'm really looking for Jarrell to really make some explosive plays off the outside linebacker spot, coming in on some really unique zone blitz packages. We know Saban is a huge pro-style defensive guy, and I'm really excited to see what kind of packages he brings this year. And again, I think all of that is going to be in an effort to kind of alleviate some of the pressure on our secondary.
That's, I think the biggest key for that is who they're going to get to step up at the other corner spot opposite Dre Kirkpatrick.
Right.
He's actually got a lot to prove himself. He's never really, not played any significant playing time. And if they had either Arenas or Kareem Jackson coming back, I think they'd be a lot better off. But that's the main thing, because when Auburn's situation similar situation for us was when we lost Carlos Rogers, Thorpe Award winner, and we just never really did recover from it, frankly.
Yeah, and I think fortunately we've got some experience coming back in the safety spot, Barron back there.
That definitely.
Hopefully going to keep some of these overzealous quarterbacks a little bit under control. In the pocket, especially when we get down later in the year playing a guy like Ryan Mallett, especially, who's just going to be gunning the ball everywhere. And especially when we play against you guys, last game of the season, we've got to have that stronger experience in the secondary. And it's interesting to see how Lester's going to come in. We've got, again, this inexperience in the secondary. or lack of again, as I said earlier, like a lack of identity. So I'm really excited to see how these guys have come together over the spring, and to see exactly, because I think this is what you can look at Nick Saban and say, this is how good of a coach he is. Not what he's done in the past. Right. Well, let's see what he does with a total rookie squad coming in.
Because these are save just a couple of guys. This is his team, right? I mean,
this is all guys he's brought in.
That's generally, like with Auburn, it's probably going to happen a little bit faster because like most of Tuberville's guys didn't qualify.
Right. Anyway, got a lot of players in pretty quick.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is let's see. Outside of Greg McElroy, I don't know that there's a starter that he didn't recruit. I could be wrong about that, but I believe he's the only major player, isn't that?
If memory serves correct, that is. I mean, I know
he's the fifth-year guy, and Saban's only been there for 4. So
right, and I think the big thing too is again, let's look at the offensive side of the ball for a second. Not only am I curious to see if McElroy comes right back in stride like he finished last year in, but I am extremely excited to see A.J. McCarron get some playing time. I mean, you're talking about a guy who is just he's got unbelievable talent.
Yeah, well, he was like top 50 or so on the ESPN U150. But I mean, I know a lot of Alabama fans are looking forward to seeing him play.
Yeah, looking forward to him get some time, and especially we know Mark Ingram's a Heisman quarterback. Which is great that we're bringing him back. But, I'm also really anxious to see Trent Richardson starting to get some more weight put on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Looking to see, hopefully, I know we were talking at one point, maybe looking at Alabama doing some pro-style sets. We'll split back runs or split back, passing plays. Just really curious to see what we do.
Yeah, Trent Richardson, I'm sure everybody that's watching this got a chance to see him last year at some point. He reminds me of Cadillac Williams a lot.
That's the first thing I thought. When you see the guy run, you can't help but see the comparisons between them.
He's actually the same height as Ingram, but he looks like he's 5 inches shorter somehow. I don't know. It's strange, but he's a lot thicker, I guess.
I was about to say, I think what it is that he's a little bit stockier than Ingram, which Ingram's the guy that's going to kind of dart in and out of the hole. Richardson's the guy that's just going to put his pads on you, and he's either going to mow you over, or he's just going to make his own hole. So similar size, different style running.
And I mean, we all know this is going to be we assume it's going to be the farewell tour for Julio Jones, as he's projected to be a top 15, top 20 draft pick, and could be for Mark Ingram too. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I very seriously doubt Ingram's going to come back after this year.
What more can those guys do? I mean, Julio Jones, like we said last week, has a chance to contend for the Litnikoff Award, which he's on the preseason watch list for. But Mark Ingram, he's won both ultimate prizes really.
He's got a national championship. He's got a Heisman.
And Doak Walker.
He's got the Walker Award as well. So I mean, looking to see getting ahead of myself, but also curious to see where he ends up, in his career. Hoping that he has it's been a while since we've had a really, prolific kind of Alabama running back really get into the NFL and make some noise. Sean Alexander.
Sean Alexander won an MVP about 5 years ago.
Right, and then at the end of his career kind of tailed off a little bit.
But that's what happens with all tailbacks, though. Unless you're Barry Sanders, nobody goes out on top of the running back spot.
Right, the injuries kind of seem to mount up a good bit.
Especially like with Alexander, especially as much as he got the ball in college, and then getting fed right into the NFL and everything. I mean, it happens. But that's why you're seeing the role of like true feature backs diminish pretty significantly. But let's see, was there anything else you wanted to add?
Guys, I guess that's it. Again, enjoy the games that we have this week. It's gonna be a big weekend. Our next show that we're gonna do a special on take some time and talk about Auburn versus Arkansas State. Looking forward to their first game of the year as well as Alabama's. And I guess my last closing remark would be, again, thank you guys. And I just got to give us a big roll tide, and let's go get them.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.